A nuclear weapon was detonated somewhere over the South Atlantic. That is what the instruments recorded. What no instrument ever found was any evidence that it happened. The Vela series satellites sat in a highly elliptical orbit, drifting more than 100,000 kilometers above the Earth. In the architecture of global surveillance, their objective was strictly singular: to detect a specific light signature known as the double flash. The first flash lasts a fraction of a millisecond, representing the formation of a superheated fireball. A shock wave then momentarily obscures the light, creating a dip in the graph, immediately followed by a second, longer and more intense phase of illumination. This luminosity profile is unique and means only one thing: an atmospheric nuclear explosion. The system was engineered at the height of Cold War paranoia and calibrated to entirely eliminate false positives. On September 22, 1979, this flawless system reported that an event had occurred. At 02:52 GMT, the Vela 6911 satellite was passing over the South Atlantic, scanning a sector near the Prince Edward Islands. It is one of the most isolated and unforgiving environments on the planet, an empty, storm-swept ocean bordering Antarctica. The satellite's instruments recorded the event, and the digital information was instantly relayed to Earth. The system uncompromisingly confirmed its conclusion: a double flash had been registered, corresponding to a nuclear event with an estimated yield of 1 to 3 kilotons. The September 22nd incident was the 41st in the history of the system. All 40 previous signals had been confirmed as real tests. Here is where a systemic gap emerges. According to military protocols, physical evidence must follow the flash. Command immediately deployed reconnaissance aircraft, which flew dozens of grueling sorties directly into the suspected epicenter to hunt for iodine-131 isotopes. They filtered freezing air for weeks, but the ocean remained silent. No convincing evidence confirming a nuclear explosion was found in air samples, in oceanic water, or in global seismic data. And yet, the emptiness was not absolute. While one network recorded a total absence of radiation, completely independent systems unexpectedly woke up across the globe. Highly classified U.S. Navy underwater hydrophones, the SOSUS network, picked up a strange, incredibly powerful, low-frequency acoustic wave coming exactly from the direction of the South Atlantic. That very same night, the massive Arecibo radio telescope in Puerto Rico detected a massive, unexplained wave in the ionosphere traveling from south to north. 3 independent networks registered anomalies in practically the same minute. A month later, local farm sheep in Australia showed trace but distinct concentrations of iodine-131 in their thyroid glands. But this data was officially dismissed as a statistical error. An official White House panel proposed a hypothesis that could explain the event without acknowledging a nuclear test. According to this version, a tiny micrometeorite weighing merely a milligram could have struck the satellite's sensor. The dust cloud, instantly kicked up by the impact in a vacuum, reflected bright sunlight right into the lens, perfectly mimicking the characteristic double flash. This transformed a global political threat into a random, isolated technical anomaly. But the archive always retains inconvenient details. Mathematical analysis showed that the graph's exact ratio of the first and second light peaks almost perfectly matched the reference records of French and Chinese atmospheric tests. Moreover, the signal was synchronously registered by 2 independent optical sensors on the satellite. For the micrometeorite hypothesis to work in reality, a tiny speck of dust would have had to fly in front of both separated sensors simultaneously, tricking their optics with identical precision. For a random error, this was an unusually precise coincidence. The system recorded an event. Reality provided no evidence. Between these two records lies an absolute gap. Either we are dealing with the most flawless cover-up in modern history, or with a moment when supreme technology collided with the absolute limit of its capacity to interpret the world. The 40 previous signals from the Vela system were confirmed as real nuclear tests. The 41st proved to be the only one for which the world never found an explanation. Record 001 remains officially unclosed.